Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Off Farm Income Podcast. So happy to have you here with me today. Today, we've got kind of a special episode. We are doing a partnership. We're doing something that I never thought I would be doing, and we are hoping to get to meet all of you in doing this. We are partnering with Collette Travel to go to Tuscany, Italy, to see tons of culture, tons of history, and Italian agriculture along the way. I am very, very excited about this, and I am hoping that you all join us on this tour. Join Autumm and Hattie and I, and get to meet all three of us and to spend some time so we can all get to know each other and talk about ag and talk about all the wonderful things that we are going to be seeing. So today I'm going to be interviewing Jim Edwards, who's going to talk to us all about this tour with Collette, about the details, the logistics, what we'll be seeing, the itineraries, the way they take care of every detail for us. It's just a fantastic opportunity, and I am very excited to get to meet you all in Italy. There's going to be a ton of links and phone numbers and things like that announced both on this episode, then up on the Off Farm Income website, as well as the Off Farm Income Facebook page. Hope to see you all in Italy. We'll be talking about it all month of January, and we're going to kick it off with this interview with Jim Edwards. Jim, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you having me today.
You bet. Well, this is very exciting for me, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this with everybody who listens to the Off Farm Income Podcast. But let's start off like this. Would you please just introduce yourself and Collette to my audience?
Yes, sir. So my name is Jim Edwards, and I've been proudly serving Collette for nearly 25 years. And Collette is coming up on her 102nd season in business, and we're pretty well known in the guided travel market. Been a national TV advertiser for a long time, so folks might have seen us on Wheel of Fortune. Mm-hmm. And we're excited to work with you, Matt, on the trip to Tuscany.
Awesome. Okay. Well, so as we announce this and we launch this exciting opportunity, I want to talk about how this came about. So I met some of your folks at the National Association of Farm Broadcasters convention in Kansas City, and you're there talking with agricultural broadcasters and people who are involved in agriculture. So how do you weave agriculture and farming and things like that into tours with Collette?
That's a great question. We've now been a partner with NEFB for 3 years, and in that we work with several of the broadcasters who want to invite their listeners and their audience to take part in a trip, maybe a trip to Italy like you're doing, or Ireland, and experience a great destination, and at the same time maybe visit with some local farmers and learn what life is like in Tuscany on a cheese farm. And we're going to have an opportunity to do that on the itinerary that we're going to be talking about here in a minute, Matt. So we weave that in several destinations, such as Costa Rica. We visit a coffee plantation and learn about coffee from the plant to the bean to the cup. And we're right there on the farm talking with the owners. We do the same thing in a dairy farm in Ireland. And again, we're going to be doing that in Italy as well when we visit Pecorino cheese factory, or actually a farm, not a factory. But we're going to be right on the farm first.
Yeah, very cool. Well, it's... go ahead. Sorry, Jim.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it's fascinating, to go to Europe or to any other country to learn about how they do agriculture there. I mean, for me, it's fascinating just to go from Idaho to the other side of the United States and see how agriculture is different. But we kind of all get so locked into what we do and how it works where we're at, we don't realize there's another way that things happen. And I think you get exposed to that on a tour like this.
It's certainly beautiful in a lot of these places that we're talking about. Italy is going to be fantastic, but you're able to see the landscape. You're able to really embrace the culture and learn a lot about the culture and meet people. And that's really what makes travel fascinating. It's a great educator. Mm-hmm. You learn about the landscape, you learn about the culture and the people, and it all comes to life, and it really makes for a wonderful experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about what it is we're partnering on. So, you and I, or I should say Collette and the Off Farm Income Podcast, we've decided to partner and go do this tour to go explore Tuscany and to see everything that there is there to be offered, and also to wrap agriculture into that, like we were talking about. Tell us about this tour that we're going to partner on.
Yeah, so this is actually a 9-day adventure, and we're going to explore Tuscany. And the great thing about this itinerary is that we're going to be staying in one hotel for 7 nights, 9 days. So we only have to unpack one time, and that's outstanding. We're going to be in the little village of Montecatini Terme, and it is a thermal spa resort area. So for those gals, maybe guys too, who want to take advantage of the thermal spas there, you certainly have that during some free time. But you'll have a chance to walk outside the front door of the hotel and visit a cafe and restaurants and have everything going on right around you. We're city center in that town. But again, unpack one time. And throughout the itinerary, we're going to be seeing great things. We're going to journey over to Florence, the cradle of Renaissance, and see the famous statue of David. So not only are we going to see some things that are going to be interesting specific to the farming community, but when you're in Italy, you certainly don't want to miss out the great cities and all the history and culture around us. So we're going to do that in Florence. We'll have a day trip over to Florence and really get a chance to experience everything that this great city has to offer. It's one of the most popular traveled cities in all of Europe. We'll also stop in a little medieval city, Lucca, where we're going to see the 16th century walls that encompass the village. By the way, all throughout the itinerary and every day, we're going to be sampling great wines, and we'll do that. Really, really special occasion in the Chianti region. We're going to have a wine tasting, but every night we're going to have wine that flows freer than water on the dinner table, and that is an inclusion, and I think people are going to love that. Of course, back to the cheese farm, we're going to actually spend time at the farm. We'll talk to the owners, learn about the history of the farm, and again, have a chance to have great tasting of the Pecorino cheese. We'll even have a cooking class. We'll learn all about Tuscan cuisine and have a cooking class right there as well in the heart of Tuscany. And we'll even have a little bit of flavor of World War II, because we're going to see the Gothic lines, and it was one of Germany's last lines of defense during World War II. And we'll even visit the Liberation Museum as well and see the fortification and the bunkers right there in Tuscany also. So it really has something for everybody. Certainly the farm component, the food and the wine and the culture, and even some World War II history. So it really is an itinerary that has something for everybody.
Wow, that is fascinating to me. I did not realize the World War II part. That's very exciting for me. I that's a part of the war that I've never even really studied that much. So that will be really neat to see.
Yeah, it was one of the most requested over the past couple years with the anniversary of the landing in Normandy, and of course there was a lot of excitement in that area. But all of the sites throughout Europe have been very popular over the years, and this is certainly one of them. But again, the itinerary offers a lot of diversity, so you're going to have something for everybody to experience. And again, the food and the wine is, I think a lot of people might just go for that reason.
Well, very cool. So on this, Autumm and I will be going, and this is an opportunity for us as well, for the Off Farm Income Podcast, to be able to meet a lot of the folks that listen to our show face to face, and be able to get to know them and spend these 9 days enjoying Italy with them.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great way to really build relationships and understand a different culture again. And I think Italy has been one of those destinations for us. We offer 170 itineraries on all 7 continents, but Italy is really one of the top 3 most requested destinations in everything that we sell. And again, taking you back to the itinerary, we're going to be visiting the great cities like a Florence. We'll actually fly in and out of Florence, and we'll spend a lot of time in Florence, but we want to be out of the hustle and bustle. So we're going to be staying in Montecatini Terme for those 7 nights, but we're also going to be visiting Lucca and Pisa. People have probably heard of the Leaning Tower of Pisa since they were in grade school, but this will be a chance to really to see it up close and personal. We'll visit the medieval town of Siena, one of the most beautiful plazas in all of Europe, and even go over to San Gimignano. So we're going to be visiting the back roads and lesser-known areas of Italy as well, and it just really makes for a wonderful itinerary.
All right. Well, let's talk logistics for a second. So I know that there's a time frame in which people need to get booked to come on this trip with us. Can you talk about that for a sec?
Yes, sir. So people are going to be probably hearing a lot of our messaging coming up here soon and talking about the trip a little bit more. You'll see it on the website. But the sooner the better. We're going to be holding the space with the airlines and the hotels up until January 31st. So time is definitely of the essence. I usually say it's sometimes harder to get off a Collette harder to get on a Collette tour than to get off of a tour, because we can only take about 40 people. So certainly if you're interested in learning more, you want to give us a call. We have a special number dedicated for off-farm income, so we know that when this phone rings that folks are going to be calling about this Tuscany itinerary and going with Matt. So that number is 877-279-2350. And you can also go to the website, Matt's website, and we'll have a link for the trip itinerary as well, so you can see a little bit more of the details, all the know before you go information. And the trip is only going to be a $500 deposit to hold your space. So no worries about paying the whole thing ahead of time. All we're really going to need is the deposit to let us know you're interested.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think I love trips like this. I cannot wait to go, and I cannot wait to meet the fine folks that tune into this show and to be there and just to be totally relaxed, because Collette is taking care of all of the details, right, Jim?
Yes, sir. So this is a guided experience, Matt. So that means that from the time you land and clear customs in Florence, you're going to be met by one of our guides that's an expert in the destination. They're somewhat of a personal concierge, and they take care of that group of 40 people. They're with you from that point all the way through till they put you back on the plane in Florence. So that person is with you the whole entire way. Our hotels obviously are included. The taxes are included. The airfare is included. We are even going to pick you up, and we can take you. For those that are going to be coming from your area, Matt, you've got a good-sized group, 10 or more. We'll pick you up in that area and take you to and from the Boise airport, so we can get you there and back. No worries. But also the meals. We're going to have the meals included. The majority of the meals, all the breakfasts are included, and probably 60% of the dinners. We do give you some free time, so you're not dining with the group every single night. The meals are going to be 4 and 5 course. Again, wine included on the table, as well as water, coffee, and dessert. So very inclusive, and the sightseeing is inclusive. All the must-sees are included. So when you look at the itinerary, look day by day, and you'll see all of the great sightseeing that you're going to be able to take part in throughout the entire 9 days.
Awesome. And you mentioned flying out of Boise, but I want to make sure everybody listening knows that you don't have to be in the Boise area, because obviously I've got listeners all over the country.
Great point, Matt. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. We service more than 90 airport gateways across the country. So certainly if you're coming from anywhere in the country, we'll arrange the airfare for you. And it might be a little bit less than what you see with the air from Boise if you're coming from the East Coast. So yeah, just let us know where you're going to be flying from, and we'll let you know if there's a difference in the cost, and make that booking for you. And we
Awesome.
use all of the legacy airline carriers. So the Americans, Uniteds, and Deltas primarily are going to be our carriers of choice. Flying over the Atlantic into Italy.
Very cool. Well, let me ask you this. For people listening who have never gone over to Europe before and they've kind of seen, I don't know, just the European roots to Western civilization, when people go for the first time, what is the most common reaction you get? Like, what do people say after they've been over and they've seen kind of old world Europe?
Yeah, it's a lot easier than what people expect. They think it's going to be tough getting a passport, and it's going to be tough getting through customs and all. But it actually, there's so many people that travel around the world. Actually, I heard a stat the other day. We have an office in Australia, and 8 out of 10 people in Australia have passports. They're a very traveling bunch. We don't have that many in the United States. Wish we did. But I think that's what holds a lot of people back, is they think it's going to be it's going to give them heartburn traveling to Europe. But it's very easy, and once they get there, they're just going to fall in love with the culture and the people and the landscape, the food. Obviously, everybody hears of the Italian cuisine.
Yeah.
And, we're going to experience that firsthand, and we're going to learn about cooking in Italy too. But just remember that it's a lot easy. It's very easy to travel in Europe. Very easy. There's easy connections. We'll probably from Boise, for the folks coming from the west, we're going to connect into an East Coast gateway, probably a Newark, New Jersey, or New York City, or could be Washington, D.C. It might vary depending on where you're originating from, but it should be a pretty easy way getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
and of course, when you only have to unpack one time too, in one hotel, that makes for a very easy and relaxing trip.
Yeah, I can attest to that for sure. Well, I will tell you, the first time, and I've only been over to Europe one time, but it was a transformational experience. It was wonderful to see that area. It was wonderful to see the continent that my ancestors should come from and to experience that culture. It's so very exciting to be able to expose other folks to this, Jim.
It's unbelievable when you think of our history, only a couple hundred years, and go to Europe. There's pretty much everywhere you go in Europe, you got centuries old buildings that just the wealth of history is second to none. It's just amazing. And like you said, when you have your ancestral roots that come from Europe, I'm sure you have a lot of listeners who have roots in Italy, and just fantastic making that connection as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to have links on my website, on my Facebook page, a quick email to me, anything, anywhere people need to go to find information about off-farm income. They can find information about this tour over to Tuscany. So we will make it absolutely easy, and then Collette will take it from there and make it totally seamless, very, very easy for people to go and just have the trip of a lifetime.
Yes, sir. Very easy. As you said, go to our Off-Farm Income website. You'll see our link for the trip there. You'll have all the information you need right there. It'll tell you the hotel that we're staying in. You'll see the day-by-day itinerary. You'll see all the know-before-you-go information. So probably questions that you might not even think of, we have the answers to right on that page as well, and even a little PowerPoint so you can kind of walk yourself through the itinerary and see what we're going to be seeing and doing. But phone number, if you want to talk to us, is 877-279-2350. And again, 102 years of experience in offering guided travel. So we know what we're doing. We're the second oldest travel company in the world, and we look forward to taking care of all of your listener needs as well, Matt.
Awesome. Well, Jim, I am very excited. Thank you so much for partnering with Off-Farm Income for this trip.
We're excited as well, Matt. Thank you so much for your trust and support, and we look forward to the first of many trips together.
Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Boy, do I hope to meet all of you in Italy. Wouldn't that just be awesome for us to make the connection from podcast host to listener to friends over in Europe? That would be so fun. Please go to the website, offincome.com. Go to the Facebook page. It's titled Off Farm Income. Look at all of our links. Look at the phone number. Call Collette with any questions. Check out the website and sign up, folks. Let's get together in Italy. All right. As always, enjoy your journey, even if it goes through Tuscany, to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.